Now we will study various types of ROM. In this, the first ROM is PROM, that is Programmable Read-Only Memory. This is called the type of ROM in which once you can write on the chip and never cannot be changed. This is used for the purpose of manufacturing certain devices in the memory unit which are being required. This is used in order to save certain permanent kind of details which are required in our PC or in our storage device to operate. It could be used in certain electronic devices also in order to record and keep the specific data with it. It has the capability to store a specific function with it for years. It cannot get damaged specifically by any of the accidents which have been occurred during the usage of the device. This is a non-volatile memory. Non-volatile memory means which cannot be erased immediately or which doesn't get erased even if the electrical power is being removed. PROM becomes ROM and stores information that can be only read. Then comes the EPROM. In this type, it can be erased and the chip can be programmed and records different types of information using the special PROM programmer facility. The chip is exposed to ultraviolet light for certain hours and then the data can be erased. When EPROM is used in microcomputer, it behaves like ROM. In order to erase information and reprogram, it should be taken out of the microcomputer. This is called as erasable programmable read-only memory, and this is how it is being used. Then comes electrically erasable programmable read-only memory, EEPROM. This is a non-volatile kind of a reprogrammable ROM, but ultraviolet rays are not required for erasing this kind of a memory. It can be erased completely by certain or certain bytes can be changed using electrical pulses. EEPROM is very much useful when data is gathered and stored into it. EEPROM is slower than writing on the RAM. It cannot be used in high speed devices. Means these kinds of ROMs are available in olden generations of the computers. After this, we will be now comparing primary and secondary memory. This question comes for 3 to 4 marks in your board exam. Please remember it. Primary memory is a part of CPU. Secondary memory, which is also called as auxiliary memory, it is available outside the PC. These days the auxiliary memory which we use is hard disk, or you can say your pen drive. In prior days we used to use a floppy disk. It has no relation with the flip flop. Floppy disk is a storage device on which we had to use all our old data. We had to save our old data which we were using or which we were updating in our day-to-day life. Once the college starts, I will bring the floppy physically to the college, or I will send a photo of floppy to you such that you all can see it, experience it. Then comes what is the use of primary memory in our day-to-day life in our PC world. So here it is an essential part of memory. Without secondary memory or auxiliary memory also, but it is almost indispensable to the full use of computer potential. So it is not compulsory always to have auxiliary memory with you. Then the third point is to increase the storage capacity in primary itself and increases the cost and the size. The secondary storage is economical and almost has unlimited storage capacity. Even whenever we buy phones, it has a capacity of 3 GB or You can say sometimes 8 GB or 4 GB, and then there is expandable 128 GB capacity available. Of course, when you go on adding data to it, the speed of your mobile phone starts getting reduced. It doesn't give a high speed performance, but yes, this facility is available as long as you're using your phone less and using more it as a memory device. Then the comes the last point. It is much faster than, that is, the primary memory is much faster than any secondary storage due to its semiconductor nature. And the fourth one is access to the stored data is low than the main memory unit. Of course, when you have a secondary data storage which is not connected to your central processing unit, if you want to process that data, you have to first connect it. After connecting it, only you can receive the data, and after receiving that data, the data could be processed. Primary memory example is RAM, or you can say the first part of the semiconductor memory, the magnetic core memory, because example is also being considered when you like distinguish between. And the second part of the semiconductor memory, that is ROM, PROM, EPROM, EEPROM. These are the types of secondary or the auxiliary memories. In the next part we will study the secondary storage, which has the direct access to secondary storage, that is the floppy disk, hard disk, online storage, and offline storage is the magnetic tape storage. Now we will move on to the next part.